Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Steel Boxing!
Hello everyone and welcome to And Steel Boxing, where we talk about all things boxing in Australia and overseas. As promised, I'd like to welcome Marcel back to the studio. Marcel, hello.
How are you going?
I'm very good, thank you. And as promised, we're going to give our post-fight recap of the Usyk versus Fury card. And specifically, the main fight and our man, Jai Opetaia. It's Opetaia. And we're going to go over this and two shocks, to be honest. Two big shocks. And spoiler alert, we have a new Undisputed champion in Oleksandr Usyk. So that's very exciting. So, to business, if you will. So, I feel like if we approach this in a systematic way in which we're going to just, break down the fights round by round for the Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury fight in Saudi Arabia today, I feel like we're going to get the most information out of it. Thoughts?
Yeah, it was a lot to break down. Good fight, very good fight, better than I thought it would be. Thought it might have been a bit of a snooze fest.
There was honestly, I think there was a high potential of it being a snooze fest.
Yeah, but one of the best heavyweight fights I've seen in a while.
It lived up to expectations.
Very good.
Now tell me, all right, let's go round 1 to 3, just the start of the fight. All right, everyone's feeling each other out. What was your initial thoughts on those 3 rounds?
Like, when it first started and I said, Usyk's going to beat him. I just said it.
You flipped it. You're like, no, that's it.
It was like 8 seconds in. But then I liked how Fury looked in the first round. He did what I thought he would do. He got behind his jab, was framing a lot with the lead hand against Usyk. Didn't let him in.
It's like, you're not coming in. And that's a very Kronk gym situation. Like, that's very reminiscent of your Vitaly Klitschko's, your Vladimir Klitschko's, where they're keeping you at distance with that big lead hand.
Yeah, he was framing him well, and you could see. I think the most notable punch of the fight was from Usyk at the end of the first round. He clocked him with the left hand, but I liked how Fury was making him reach. Because he was framing him off, Usyk just couldn't fully get inside. And I thought, okay, Fury's got a good game plan for this. And then I think from the first round, I think Usyk won the first couple rounds, but you could see what Fury was doing and it looked good. I liked it. But then came around round 7.
Yeah. But before we get there, if we approach our systematic approach, if we use our systematic approach, should I say, can I just say, for the ring entrances, Usyk's fit was on point. I loved it.
The Cossack.
That Cossack look with the hat and the feathers. I'm like, this is sick. And he was so stoic, and he's got such a great posture. He looks so good. And then you have Tyson Fury coming into that I need a hero. And it just summarized both these fighters, I think. He's dancing on the spot, a bit longer of a ring walk, just soaking in the atmosphere. I was like, that's fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that. But it just really summarizes both their personalities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fury's such a clown.
Honestly, so my thoughts on round 1 to 3, essentially. So, I mean, it's the same as Vasily Lomachenko, right, with Usyk. They're these high IQ fighters, and they're really downloading that information. Like, hey, cool, I'm getting the timing on this guy. I'm seeing what his game plan is, essentially. A little bit cagey. Yes, the best shot of that round was by Usyk. However, I think that Fury maybe controlled a bit more of that round. I would have swing round, but probably I would have given it to Fury just by a bit more control of the ring and that ring generalship.
Yeah,
okay?
Agreed.
You could see those first few rounds, though, that Usyk was concentrating on the body. Like it was just those 1-2 at the body. Like he's just ignoring the head. He knows, Tyson's got good defense. He's got the nice. He moves quite well for a big man who's just gone body.
Had a nice shoulder.
Body. Shoulder roll.
Usyk had him on the ropes in the first round, and I saw him roll both those shots. That was nice.
Yeah, I was very impressed initially. And he was keeping it long, and he came in lighter for this fight. Regardless, he was going to be heavier than Usyk, but I did figure he was going to keep this long, and he was probably thinking like, listen, I'm not in his mind or in his camp's mind, but they're probably thinking, hey, this guy's not going to be there to be wrapped up, because that Soviet system boxing, they love the medium and the long punches. They're not inside fighters. Really, they're not. And Usyk is from that same system, right?
Yeah, but he's not an inside fighter, but like he wanted to get on the inside.
Well, he wanted to get in the medium range to strike and then get out.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. But I thought he'd be busier on the inside, Usyk. He kind of let Fury wrap him up. I think it's easier said than done when you got 260-something pounds on you like a wet towel. But yeah, I thought that he might be bringing some hooks, some overhands in the clinch.
Yeah.
But Fury didn't really clinch till later in the fight anyway.
Honestly, I reckon there was maybe 5 or 6 real clinches broken up probably in the whole fight.
Yeah.
Like it was minimal. And that was probably because he was avoiding that the clinch, essentially, Doesn't want him leaning on there. That Usyk was avoiding the clinch.
Ah, yeah.
And in conjunction, I feel like because that was the case, he was coming into that medium range, throwing his shots there off, right, and then exiting so he wouldn't get wrapped up. I feel like Tyson Fury, if he came forward, all right, for the clinch as he's exiting, bang, he's there for a counter. And, Usyk, as we saw, can deliver some punishment. So, they don't want that. So I think that's probably why there wasn't as many clinches throughout the fight.
It was good. Fury, I thought if this was going to be a boring fight, it'll be because of Fury. But he came to knock Usyk out. I think he came for the finish.
He was throwing some leather.
Yeah. He got him with some really nice uppercuts in those middle rounds.
Exactly. Let's talk rounds 4 to 6.
Yeah, to the body. He had a good body assault.
I think that's a highlight, the big the headline, if you will, of rounds 4 to 6 is the bodywork.
Yeah,
by Tyson.
and even the uppercuts. He looked like he hurt Usyk in those mid rounds. Like I thought,
he was rattled. He got rattled.
I thought it was a wrap. I was like, okay, Fury will like have his way with Usyk for the rest of the fight, especially a fighter like Fury when he gets into his groove and he's feeling himself, and it kind of looked like that's how the fight was going. But I'll tell you what, that framing that Fury was doing in the early rounds to stop Usyk from getting in, he stopped doing that, and you could see Usyk starting to inch closer.
Do you know what? I feel like he stopped it after round 6, doing it less, because I feel like rounds 4 to 6 was very dominant for Fury.
Yeah, why do you think he stopped doing it? I think he just got a bit tired.
Yep. He got tired, and maybe the timing was changing, because in round 7, all right, or the end of round 6 in between, Usyk, his corner essentially said, hey, let's stop effing around. All right, and let's start moving your feet. He goes, I want you to start moving. And I'm sure there's some other things that was said in Ukrainian that didn't quite get translated. But they approached it differently. They went to that plan B. And that's these high IQ fighters and high IQ teams. They have these plan Bs. And if there's going to be a man to execute it, it's Usyk. Fair?
Yeah, but he did get busier for sure. And he just you could see it coming, especially. It was very impressive, especially like considering that he looked like he was almost done in those middle rounds.
Hey, he looked so tired. At one stage, I'm like, I've never seen Usyk like this. He was tired and he looked a bit confused.
Yes, and he was like,
I was rattled.
Yeah, and he was like, he looked frustrated, a bit out of character, but he regathered himself and he just he showed up. He landed that big shot in round 9, the most pivotal moment of the fight. I think had he not landed that shot, I think Fury could have possibly won on points. That was like very pivotal, and I don't think Fury did himself any favors when he did get tagged. He should have taken a knee, and he just, I don't know. I think it goes against everything he believes in. He won't take a knee, but he should have taken a knee there, man. He was in all sorts.
Well, you know what? Just prior to that, I found that round 7, Usyk really started coming on the offensive. He's like, okay, maybe the initial plan was like, hey, let's try some boxing, out jab and control the ring, because he was pressuring throughout the whole fight essentially, and allowing Tyson Fury allowing Usyk to come onto the shots. Round 4 to 6, he was on the offensive. Those nasty body shots, the uppercuts. He was finding home with those shots. Really tested Usyk's body. On round 7, it really flipped. He really went on the offensive. He was really attacking, countering hard. That lead hand hook, boom, over the top. He was finding it.
He was trying to do that, but the whole fight, it looked like he did like come out with maybe more intent, especially considering how those previous rounds went. But I think Fury's lack of defense had something to do with his success also.
How so?
Like the framing. I swear the framing was very important.
Do you think there was too much showboating from Fury?
I wouldn't say that. Nah, it was so funny, when he was on the ropes, those 2 consecutive rounds.
Yes.
He'd be laying on the ropes and then he'd come out, pop, turn around.
Yeah.
Usyk through the jab. Both times, it was like identical.
Identical, just different corners.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And
no, it was good, man.
honestly, at that stage, I remember just turning to you saying like, unbelievable. He's having his way with him. He's dominating. But hey, champions truly find ways to win. And hey, for round 7, you can't deny this man.
Did you think the ref could have stopped it in the 9th round?
Well, here are my thoughts on that 9th round. When it comes to heavyweight, undisputed, and large titles, I feel like the referee will give a little bit more leniency to these fights, and leniency to like, hey, he's taken damage, but he's a champion. He is the champion. Let's give him a shot within safe boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he took that shot.
Within safe boundaries, bro. He was getting hit a lot.
Yeah,
Any other fight?
Listen, I don't think he was getting hit that much. He was catching a lot of them and dodging a lot of them with length.
Any other fight and any other fighter, this is what I think, I would have been like very comfortable with a stoppage there. But if the ref did stop it, considering what's at stake, considering who Tyson Fury is, and considering like how close it was to the end of the round, I would have been disappointed if he stopped that fight at that point. I would have understood it. Wouldn't have been an outrageous stoppage. It was well within his rights to do it, but I'm glad he didn't, because Fury came back in the next round and recovered very well. So,
you know what? With that stoppage, one thing which I found, because I went back and had a look again.
Which stoppage?
With the knockdown.
Oh, round 9, yeah.
So he hit him, and then initially I didn't think it was that hard. Like, okay, a little bit of a buzz. Then all of a sudden he was rocking around the ring. I'm like, this guy's on wobbly legs. I'm nervous. All right, I was nervous at this stage. And then, yeah, cool, there's a few going through. Usyk didn't go crazy to throw bombs or anything like that. He was very measured in his assault. All right, he's taking hits. That last hit where he bounced off the ropes and his legs cracked. All right, you don't have to touch the canvas. The referee thinks you've been held up by something. They can call it a knockdown. Hey, I tell you what, Usyk was there ready to throw a bomb, an atomic bomb on him. But the ref's like, no, that's knockdown. If the ref allowed Tyson Fury to, bounce off the ropes one more time and that shot went through, I think that fight would have been over. I mean, cold knockout.
Or he would have gotten up like he did against Wilder. Hey, the guy's a mutant. Like, I don't know how he just recovers.
His ability to recover is like Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, it's next level. But yeah, so anyways, so the rest of the fight.
What about round 10 after the knockdown?
So that was just I can't remember how it went.
You know what? Round 10, I know
It
exactly.
wasn't very memorable.
After that, you're just so shaken because we didn't expect it. Round 10 essentially was just a Tyson Fury recovery round.
Yeah, he took the
Usyk
round
pocket,
off and he
jabbing, keeping it
and he
long.
survived. It was good. And then he came. Usyk had the rest of the fight. Like in my mind, I think he banked the last. I thought he won the 12th and had the 11th go.
It was a swing round, but you could make an argument that he won the rest of the fight post knockdown. Yeah, I think at that stage, like, listen, Fury's brain was probably a little bit rattled. Usyk had the confidence. He was really timed him out, as in he has his timing and his tendencies for the fight now. High IQ fighter, and he was just in attack mode. And he was like, we were discussing at the time, we're like, listen, he can't take the rest of these rounds off. He needs round 11 and 12 right now to win this fight.
Who?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Yep.
He was
They
not.
both did.
Yeah, that's right. And hey, championship rounds.
And the scorecards told us that much anyway.
Very exciting. What are your final thoughts? Your macro thoughts on that particular fight?
It surpassed my expectations. Very fun fight, very good fight. They were both very impressive, and I can't wait for the rematch. I'm glad there's a rematch clause in place. I hope they have the rematch.
Absolutely. And for the record, myself and Marcel are now one apiece with scoring Usyk on points, and we predicted that. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Congratulations.
We missed the knockdown.
We did miss the knockdown. What we did,
we got the knockdown. Someone got knocked down, and Usyk won on points.
yeah, and you know what? Sorry to bum steer anyone there. I thought that was the value that we could have brought to our
Hey,
precious
that could have happened though.
viewers.
That could have happened.
Honestly,
in the mid rounds.
Hey, let me tell you right now, his assault on the body in those mid rounds, I'm like, Usyk is going down. The guy was hurt to the body.
It made
The guy
sense.
was hurt to the head. Hey,
He was
post-fight review.
complaining. He was complaining heaps.
Oh my God, he was complaining. That did annoy me.
Yeah.
Hey, post-fight interview with Tyson Fury. He looks a bit battered. Happy days. Apparently, Usyk was in the hospital, broken jaw.
Wow.
Big man, big power.
Yeah. So great fight.
All right, so rematch. What are your 2 early predictions?
I think Tyson Fury gets him in the rematch
Interesting. Why?
because up until he got
Now, I want to let you know this is now going digitally,
that's
online,
fine.
and it will be held to it.
That's
you can
fine.
never change your mind.
Hey man, look, going into
joking.
going into this fight, like we couldn't really make up our minds anyway.
Honestly, we
it was a
couldn't.
50-50 fight. The punters were right.
100% agree.
And it played out as such. Next fight, I'm still it'll be the same, but I was leaning towards Usyk in this first fight. The next fight, I'll be again. Everything is very slight, but I'll be leaning slightly towards Fury, just because I think if Fury doesn't get hurt that bad in the 9th, and even if he took a knee in the 9th, he might have been able to come back and snatch those last.
He
few
needed to take
rounds.
that knee, you're right. He took a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was heaps, man. Like I don't even know how he was still standing. And if he didn't get saved by the bell, there was a lot of luck on this side in that
The
regard.
bell, right when the count stopped, that saved the fight for him.
Yeah.
But he was in a bad way.
Oh, he's taken some damage.
He has. But honestly, that first fight with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder won, where he got knocked down, like right around 12, I think it was, like lights out. And then the way he came back alive, I remember seeing on YouTube, it was like a
Those Undertaker memes.
Undertaker, but this is even better. This was like the Terminator. like rebooting,
Yeah,
like
fully.
with the red screen, and he gets up, then he proceeds to bash Deontay Wilder for the remainder of the round.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He's a Terminator.
He's a Terminator.
And I reckon the refs, like, everyone knows that about, as if that didn't play a part in you saying, don't stop the fight, this bloke will come back. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
The ref's probably seen that and he's like, oh, let him go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
He's not finished yet.
No, he's got a little bit of ticker in him. All right. Now to the other one, which we really fell on our faces again. Jai Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis.
We said Jai would win.
We did say he'd win.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Move the goalposts.
Yeah, that's right. No, we said he was going to win. However, Mairis Briedis is a tough, crafty boxer. What do you think? I know you're very excited for this particular one.
Man, I thought Jai was going to wash him. And I'm not disappointed in Jai's performance at all. I thought he put on a boxing clinic. Very mature, very disciplined, very measured. Wasn't reckless, but at the same time, he wasn't like gun shy. But he was very smart. It was more Briedis. Briedis just showed
He didn't
up.
want to fight.
No,
you know what
yeah,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
But
yeah,
for the
yeah.
first, I feel like his game plan essentially was this. All right, I don't have the legs anymore, but I still got the chin. The
100%.
guy's a rock. All right. Let's take the first, call it 9 rounds off, and then we'll see what we can do by the end. Let him do all the work. Let him, gas himself essentially, and then we'll see what we can do at the end.
Yeah, these vets, man, like
I was so nervous.
they
at the
make
end.
up for like their athleticism,
or lack thereof.
lack of athleticism with like strategy, tricks.
Veteran moves.
Yeah, full vet. And like he came to win as well. Especially, how someone like, obviously he would have been paid well for that fight.
Exceptionally.
And you're like at 40, what are you, 39 years
39,
old.
yeah.
It's like, man, like this guy's probably coming to take a paycheck, but that wasn't the case, man. He put himself in the firing line in the last 2 rounds. You know that his game plan was let Jai get a bit tired so he's not as dangerous, and if I have to come on in the later rounds, I'll go out on my shield. He came to
Jai's
win.
twitchy, isn't he? He's a twitchy athlete.
Bro, he's freaky.
Oof.
Jai's freaky. Even in that first round, as there was like a little rush by Briedis, and it was like the first time he actually opened
Counted,
up.
boom, boom.
Bro, counted 1-2 on the back foot like that. And I'm like, this I don't blame Briedis for, being a bit cagey, especially at his age, man. Like, I think he had the right game plan, did everything that he could do, but Jai was just a cut above.
Exactly, and especially where they are in their careers right now. I really liked it because, Jai, he got eyes on the sport, Australian boxing, as well as himself. Congratulations on the win, obviously. But he got those good rounds with high-level opposition, right? Briedis has won the title 4 times at cruiserweight. He's crafty as they come. And to get those rounds, full 12 rounds, instead of just knocking him out and clearing him out, that's valuable. Very, very valuable for a fighter coming up through the ranks, essentially, and looking to go to bigger and better things.
And Briedis made it hard for him to get the finish as well.
Exactly. Like everyone, there was people spoiled with fights on this particular card, knockouts left and right. Pretty entertaining stuff.
When did you start watching the fights?
I started watching the fights at Sanchez.
Frank Sanchez,
Yeah.
he lost.
He lost, TKO in round 7.
Yeah.
They were spoiled. This one, Mairis Briedis, he didn't want to engage. He was boxing and being very crafty and countering. Hey, honestly, in round 11 and 12, were you nervous?
Yeah, man.
I was so nervous. His nose was busted a couple of rounds beforehand. He was coming, and Briedis was coming on. And I think Jai was a bit rattled at one stage.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I didn't think he'd get the finish, but like, I don't think Briedis would get the finish, to be honest. I was just like,
He couldn't press his advantage when he hurt him.
He didn't have enough left in him himself anyway.
Great win. The commentators were saying that Jai was wanting to go to Bridgerweight, which is this new weight division in the WBC that's in between cruiserweight and heavyweight. And then after that, he wants to jump up to heavyweight. So we'll definitely see how that progresses. I'd like to do a breakdown eventually of these heavyweights. And I've been thinking, I'm like, is everybody 6'7" at the moment? And just loosely off the top of my head, it's not. All right. Just think about it. What are the really, really big guys at the moment? Fury, AJ, Wilder. Everyone else kind of falls now into that 6'4". And
Zhang, Big Bang.
Zhang, yeah, he's that around that size as well. Now, what makes me say that is that would make the transition from cruiserweight, bridgerweight to heavyweight for Jai Opetaia a lot easier in the sense that he's not versing giants, on this stage.
So I didn't hear what they said in the commentator said regarding.
Essentially, he's now cruiserweight champion. He wants to go to heavyweight.
What about Ramirez?
Yes. Ooh.
I feel like that's just like the obvious fight to make.
Yeah. But does he want to jump up out of the cruiserweight division and chase some where the big money is in heavyweight?
Ramirez is a big fight, though. Ramirez will be a bigger fight than Briedis.
I think that'd be spectacular.
Needs to speak to Turkey.
Let's get it happening.
Make it happen, Caesar.
Tell everyone about the Caesar comment.
No, I was just saying, like, Turkey Al Sheikh's he's like the Caesar, and these fighters are like gladiators. It's so funny.
Bringing him to the Coliseum.
Yeah,
make it happen.
One day he's going to bring in a lion.
Get Tyson Fury to fight a lion. Oh, and you know what? I congratulate him and bring these fights together so quickly and so regularly. It's a breath of fresh air for boxing, the sport of boxing specifically.
Yeah, it's good. And he seems to be looking after him, so good for them.
Yeah, it'd be always nice to be taken care of by a monarch.
Yeah, feudal lord.
Perfect. So these are final thoughts?
Yeah, very impressive by Jai. Really wanted him to get this. Man, I thought he was going to wash him. I was like, just given what they both got up to after that last fight, the age, the lack of, time in the ring for Briedis, 2 years off. Jai was on a tear, 2 very impressive wins. I'm like, surely he'll wash him. I was very shocked by Briedis.
Yes, agreed. And when you think about it historically, it wasn't, I guess, too much of a surprise. I was thinking age is definitely a big factor. 2 years outside of the ring rust, a factor. However, even Usyk, when they fought for the Undisputed Cruiserweight title during the Super Series, the Cruiserweight Super Series, even he didn't knock him out.
Yeah, but when was that?
Approximately 4 or 5 years ago, possibly 6.
Yeah, like it's 39, man. So impressive. Like, I was shocked, and like it doesn't say anything bad about Jai for not being able to stop him. Like, I was still very impressed by Jai, but it just tells you how resilient and crafty these older vets are.
Agreed, sir. All right. Well, from here, we are now one apiece for the predictor, the ultimate predictor challenge that we have. We'll see when we deviate on the other ones where I can get ahead of you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be superior, maybe. Doubtful.
Which one? What's next?
What's next? The next big fights? Well, we have the series between Matchroom and Queensberry.
But like what? Just what fight? Pick a fight.
Pick a fight?
Yeah, pick a fight.
Okay, Deontay Wilder and Big Bang Zhang.
That's a good fight. That's such a good fight.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to say Deontay Wilder, but I know you want to say Deontay Wilder as well.
Yeah, it's going to be Wilder.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be Wilder. It's still that's a hard fight. They can both bang, but Wilder hits harder. But
does he still have it though?
Big Bang is a better boxer for sure.
Oh.
I mean, who isn't a bit of better boxer than Wilder? Yeah, I reckon Wilder just with that cross.
Bang, dead. All right, I'm sure we'll come up with one in the future. For the meantime, Marcel, thank you very much for coming in and giving us your thoughts and analysis on the fight. Very much appreciated as always.
Nah, thanks for having me, Guy.
In the near future, what we're going to be having is a few other professional fighters and significant members of the boxing community in Australia. So stay tuned for the immediate future where we can release these interviews and get these guys' thoughts. Perfect. Thank you again and take care.
Thank you for listening. If you liked this episode, please subscribe to the channel for future content